comes Arthur. Oh my gosh, you're back. You're coming back.
Gee, we're coming back.
It's a hot and dusty road. You got to come up.
Yep, here we go.
5,600. Yeah. 5,600 feet high.
We are cooking here. William is flying up the road. Flying. Whoa, buddy, come on. Dust. Oh, jeez, all right.
Don't breathe.
Okay, we're getting up there. Whoa. Take it easy, William.
Oh my God. Not my barn again.
Yeah, back door on the barn. Sorry.
Do you know how much it cost me to fix that mess last time?
Yeah. William. Jeez. No.
Give him a carrot. Give him a carrot.
No animals were hurt in the making of this show. Good God, boy. Hang on a minute. Let me get this stuff off of him. God, he's got all this junk all over him. All right. There he is. He's better. Hi, Gene.
Shush. Every time you come up here, it costs me money.
Yeah, I know. That's right. Okay. What's going on?
Hey,
we have a great show.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. We got a great show for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here actually during the midst of the RNC, Republican National Convention. And we know who Gene's voting for.
And Arthur better be voting for him, too, because there's nobody else to choose from.
Threats. This is America. This is America.
I'll
vote for who I want.
Land of the home.
Land
of the free, home of the brave.
Land of the...
And Obama just about made us forget who we are and shall be.
Oh, well,
by his...
It's not just
Did you see him in that Muslim outfit? I mean, nothing against Muslims. I'm not prejudiced. I love truth in all religions. But did you see him in that Muslim outfit? It looked like he belonged there.
They're trying to stop, what's going on. It's the guys that are in control of the government. You know what's happening. We talk about this all the time. The press is controlled. These guys are controlled. They don't want to see Donald Trump making it. They don't want to see people that are standing up for the Constitution. They don't want to see people that are standing up for freedom. They don't want to see people standing up for America. And
I think Obama is a member of the Muslim Black Brotherhood.
Oof.
And they are bad guys. They are bad dudes.
Yeah, we have absolutely nothing, I don't, against Muslims. But this fanatical bent or element of it, folks, this is not right.
Let's call it what it is.
Exactly.
Radical Islamic terrorism.
Just like we shouldn't put up with radical, Christian fundamentalism that, decides that you're going to destroy our fellow man. I mean, come on, that's not in the teachings of the Bible.
Fanaticism from any religion is just ugly. I wish people wouldn't get fanatical and trust in their God a little bit to love and to be kind of balanced. Obviously, he originally designed this place to be balanced with a good equal yoked of love, wisdom, and power. And it seems that people seem to misuse each and every one of these little things that are inside their heart that they don't need to misuse.
No.
But that being said, speaking of misuse, let's do Melania Trump's chart. Yeah, I love it.
Just one comment I had about fanaticism. It's actually at its core has anger. So anything that's a fanatical or an extreme view is anger. That's
hatred too.
Yep, hatred, anger. Okay, what Melania's chart? Come on, what is it? Is it good?
Oh my God, they were so mean to her after she did this beautiful, gracious, amazing. When she walked out on the stage and did her speech, she melted my heart.
Well, she was blamed.
She did.
That was Michelle Obama's speech that she plagiarized. Didn't you know that? That's what the press said.
A bunch of hooey.
Hooey.
That is a bunch of hooey.
Hooey.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'm looking at her chart. This woman would never do anything like that.
Hooey.
Now, where did that come from?
I don't know. It's out there in the barn someplace. Now that the barn wall is knocked down, you can hear everything that's out there, so God only knows what you're going to hear today.
Well, the next door neighbors have cattle, but I don't have any cattle.
Well, then they must have gotten over here. I don't think William tore down the fence next door, did he? No, we didn't go that
put a horse and a cow together?
Well, it could be. So now you got a cow in the barn. All right, sorry. Tell me about Melania's chart.
Oh, I can see where this show's going to go.
Absolutely.
Right to the cow.
That's right. Right to the cow.
No, I was so upset because the next morning I thought, oh my God, that all the news stations are going to have great things to say about Melania because her speech was so beautiful.
No,
And
come
she
on.
touched my heart. But
Ah.
what they said instead is that she plagiarized Michelle Obama's speech from years ago.
You mean Michael Obama?
And
Yeah, Michelle Obama.
of course, what I immediately did is I went and pulled her chart. And I said, no, she didn't. That is a big lie. That is coming from the Clinton machine. That is coming from the propaganda machine that is continually trying to take Trump out. But you know what?
What?
His kids
What?
and Melania are they're stain free.
Stain free. All right. What's the chart say? What's the chart say? Tell us what chart says.
Okay, first of all, she's a Sun in Taurus, Mercury in Taurus, Venus in Taurus.
Wow.
I thought you might like that. And Saturn in Taurus. All together, a stellium in her 11th house.
Little materialism there, huh? Possibly.
Well, you're a Taurus, you should know.
Yeah, I should know.
It's ruled by Venus, so Venus means she's beautiful. And most Tauruses I know are they have something about their looks that's more refined, more delicate.
That's right.
Except you.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
I can't.
No, I think you're very. I think you're very handsome.
Oh, come on, Gene. Don't go there. Come on.
But it's hard to say that you're handsome because you're like my brother, and that kind of makes me want to throw up calling your brother handsome.
Did you see Back to the Future? Did you see the Back to the Future movie?
Yeah.
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 It's like kissing my brother.
Yep. I can't even imagine.
Oh, I had this little conversation, speaking about brothers, and I deviate here, but I had a conversation this morning with my sister on Facebook, and she's reminded me of how she used to tease the heck out of me about little green men being on the floor when I was like 5 years old, and they would put me up on the counter, and they wouldn't let me walk on the ground because they said that there were little green men running around the kitchen. It scared the heck out of a little guy, So,
well, no, those were those little green military men.
Yeah,
those little plastic toys.
Very good. I should remember that. Okay. Anyway,
I had some of those too. They were kind of fun to play with.
All right,
we played war.
So Melania, she's got all this Taurus in her chart, right? So what was the transits doing to her, like last night while she was going through all this? Was it good?
No, the moon was in the 8th house. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a two-edged sword because she meant everything she said, but she's on the receiving end of people who are jealous of her and would say unusual and unexpected things. So she didn't see this coming a mile away. She did not see this coming, that she would be accused of this type of activity.
Plagiarizing.
And she has a Cancer ascendant, which means that she wants to take care of everybody. She's a mom. She's more than a mom. She likes to nurture everyone that's around her in her way, So, so her chart also depicts that when she was young, she went through a lot of changes in the realm of where she lived, and I can see what she has Uranus in her 4th house too, which would mean a sudden departure from her homeland to a place of freedom. The sign or the planet of freedom is Uranus, quite frankly. So, oh my gosh, whoever wrote her speech, I almost thought, maybe someone was set up and put those little things in her speech to get her in trouble.
So did you see any indicator in her chart that somebody could be doing?
Well, the 8th house is that. Okay. Yeah, the 8th house is a pretty intense house, as you probably know after hanging out with me for so long.
Yes.
Anytime you have planets going through there in a given moment, and her full moon is in her 8th house right now. So let me tell you how deep she's feeling, how very deep and non-superficial she's feeling. She's feeling like, oh my gosh, I think it's the first time that she's ever going to encounter understanding how painful and how strong Mr. Trump has had to be as he has walked down this path through the primary election and taken all the blows he's taken. She probably had an objective idea of what maybe that is, and she would comfort her husband, but now she's had a taste of it and it hit her deep. So believe me, this woman is going to come back full fire and full force. She isn't going to lay down and just take evil trampling on her. And that's what's happened to her. Evil has entered her world and tried to trample on her. She's the mom, You don't mess with the mom. You just don't. The mother, the matter universe. So this stirred up a lot of understanding of what dark forces are at play here. And this is a woman who has a moon in Capricorn, so she's looking at it from a very practical level and analyzing it before she actually comes out and says anything. And believe it or not, even though she was a high fashion model, she was shy. Her moon's in the sixth house of, the sixth house rules hygiene issues, it rules clothing and your ability to model. I mean, I can see it in her chart all over. She has Pisces on her midheaven, which makes her appear glamorous and where she does well behind the camera. Pisces is a sign that rules the camera.
In front of the camera, you mean?
She does very well, and that's where that was part of her mission, is to bring her beauty to the world. The thing about beauty is that when people behold beauty, if they can behold it from the level of, so to speak, the Christ or a higher consciousness, it reinforces gentleness in people. But when it goes sexual or ugly or, jealousy comes in, obviously that'll take you down to the dark side. So she embodied to bring beauty to the planet. She's probably Venetian, quite frankly. And she's worked hard all her life. Her Saturn is conjunct her sun. I mean, her father taught her really good work ethics. And I think she said that she got her work ethics from her father. That's the truth. Saturn is conjunct her sun. That means dad had a great influence on her practical, linear ability to work through the material world. Her Saturn trions her moon. She's very stable. You can, when it comes to a Taurus, believe me, they like to do the same thing every day from 7 in the morning, you'll see them reading their paper and drinking their coffee till coming home from work at 5. They've got their schedule. They like their schedule. They like to depend on the environment, and they want the environment to bring them no surprises. They want steady as she goes. So that's her moon is in Virgo right now, so she's got her progress moon. So she's got a lot of people nitpicking on her right now and trying to find flaws in her world. Well, guess what? Nobody on this planet's perfect. But, she's very gracious and very well-mannered, and she's going to try to show that in her presentation of herself. Her progress moon is in Virgo, and I think Virgo is the absolute stress sign. So she worries so much about her husband. And now she's being thrown into the amphitheater of having to communicate with everyone.
The abuse of the media.
The abuse of the media, the lies of the media. She's finally getting a taste of it in her own world. I mean, it's been very burdensome for her with the moon in Virgo, watching her husband go through this, and now she got a direct hit. All she wants to do is be the mom. She wants, progress moon activates her fourth house of home and family. She wants to take care of Baron. She wants to, take care of her home and be focused on that and do a good job on that. And she's very good at that. I mean, putting chaos into order in her home and family is everything.
She mentioned that she wanted to do work with children, and she had made mention of that she wanted to do that as part of her, I guess, first lady mission.
And the reason why is because Jupiter's in her fifth house, and Jupiter rules the bigger picture. I want to bring something good, something moral, something ethical, something that actually really does help children. So her Jupiter, she was born with Jupiter in her Scorpio. She probably saw children when she was young having, poverty in her country. She may have, recorded that as something she would like to help fix in her future, as Jupiter does rule where we wander in our life and where we want to put our help and our belief systems. So she's got a wonderful ability with children. Jupiter's the biggest planet in the solar system. 1,300 Earths can fit inside of it. So I totally believe that is part of her mission in life. Jupiter sextiles her moon. She's the friend to the child. Mars is trying her Uranus. She doesn't put weird pedal to the metal stuff. She's not a rebellious soul. She just wants to work hard and serve. Where she has a problem is she has to deal with people that are kind of moody, and she likes that steady as she goes energy. She likes you know how a Taurus is. They like to depend on their environment. And when people come in and do weird things, it stresses her out. She's like, whoa, you know, so she doesn't know quite how to handle that. So I'm sure, looking at her chart right now with her moon in the 8th house, this is hitting her at a very deep level. She can't believe that there is this kind of evil in the world, especially working through the media.
Well, here's
you know, it's, excuse me for saying you know so much.
Well, you know, here's
Yeah, no. There you go, you know?
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. That's part of the problem with a lot of us. A lot of us, you know, have gotten to the point where we do not see the evil, you know, and just don't want to see it because you can't believe that it's that bad. I mean, you look at CNN, CBS, ABC, you know, MSNBC. You see all these media outlets. You know, how could all that equipment be wrong? How could that be used against, you know, people? How could this be, you know, people say, well, I don't believe it. You know, this is coming 60 minutes. Everything is right, blah, 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 blah. You know, so some stuff is good, some stuff isn't. But for the most part, anything that you're seeing related to politics or political, folks, has an agenda to it. And again, we say you can't believe everything you hear in the press. And look at the slants. Look at everything that's going on. So, you know, they set up both sides of the equation, CNN versus Fox News. Listen to our media show. You know, we talk about this. So did you see anything in the chart that would preclude her from being a good first lady?
Oh, my God. That was the next thing I was going to say. And that is that she's going to be in the White House, and she is going to love it. And she's not going to steal the China. Did you know that Hillary Clinton stole the China from the White House when she moved out?
Hillary Clinton and her husband have stolen more things from the American public than you can imagine. I'm sure.
Why would you take the dishes, for crying out loud? You know, anyway, whatever. Don't get me started on her. I was very polite when I did her chart on the radio show. But you know what? She's a reincarnation of Mussolini, and that is a fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
How do I know that?
Yeah.
You can go look at his picture, read his story, look at her picture, close your eyes and tune in, and you'll know who her soul is.
Well, you know what happened to Mussolini.
We do not want her in the White House.
You know what happened to Mussolini and his wife, right? That'd be funny.
What?
Well, they were strung up in a public square, basically, and
she's on her way, believe me. Did you hear what all the RNC, all the people were chanting, lock her up, lock her up, lock her up. I loved it.
Well, we'll see where obviously the fix is in on that, too. You saw what happened to her, and nothing happened. Mm-hmm. Nothing happened. Right. You called it, though. Mm-hmm. I remember you called it. You were on her, you were looking at the chart, and you said that she would have some stuff coming up in June and July. I remember this. And then I was asking, do you think she'll get away with it this time? And you said yes. I remember you said that.
She gets away with everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but you know, here's my message to Hillary Clinton. This is your last opportunity. Your God in higher realms, the great karmic board and the spiritual hierarchy of this planetary and solar system said to you, you need to go back down and fix it. That's why you're in a high position. Mussolini was in a high position. He misused his position. You got an opportunity to fix it and correct, be truthful, be real, be from your heart, make the right decisions. Don't seek power, but seek truly the desire to serve the nation. Since you can't do that, and it's very obvious that you can't do that.
Ergo, since you cannot do that.
You better be careful because you're looking at second death stuff, you know?
Oh.
That's huge.
Oh. Yeah.
The court of the sacred fire is nothing to mess with, you know, and the karmic board is very honorable, and they look at us true blue. And she's got karma with the red, white, and blue now.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. What amazes me, obviously, you know, the revenge is mine, saith the Lord, and whatever the karmic patterns that they have, I'm just looking at this, wondering how much more is going to continue to be put in the, you know, the people have got to see this and they've got to wake up. And what gets me is that still...
We're telling him, Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur, we're telling him.
We are telling him, that's right. So play this show.
Hey, guess what?
Send it to your friends. What?
Melania is an 11.
Oh.
I love that.
You know what that is?
She's a master number. Yeah.
Messenger of God is that number too.
But it also means that she's going to hold a high position. First Lady. I would love to see her in the White House because I know she'll keep it clean. All that Virgo she has. She will.
I agree.
It'll be beautiful.
Yeah. Man, that house needs a spiritual cleaning, that's for sure.
Yeah, she'll do it. You know, they got that in Trump's tower in their own home. Yeah, this great big statue of Archangel Michael in their front room.
Really?
I hope they take it to the White House. That would be awesome. Oh, it's huge. They did a presentation of, I think it was Leslie Stahl or whatever her name is. 60 Minutes. They went through their house, and Melania showed them everything. And as they were walking through the front room, I noticed this huge statue of Archangel Michael. I did a double take. It's like, yep, I knew they were high souls. I knew it.
There we go. Well, okay. So what do you see in her future? Obviously, you just said First Lady, potentially, and high position.
Yeah, she's got Pluto totally supporting her midheaven and her home, so she walks right into a position of power and has the opportunity to, use that. She is moving. Her progressed moon is going to activate the 4th house. She'll be moving in December. And late November, December, and January, she's preparing for her move. So she is moving.
And when is the oath of office taken? January.
Oh, what date is that? January what?
I forget. It's January, so that fits right with the timing of her moving into the White House.
Yeah, and I may not have the exact time because she was born in a foreign country, but I'm pretty darn close, I'm telling you. So,
sounds like
yeah,
it.
I love her chart. Her and I'd be great friends. We would. I hope I get to meet her someday. I don't know how.
I would love.
Syndication.
Yeah. Pick up our show and play it. Yeah, there's, I would like to say there is a lot that we could, it would to be able to help with. We've got to get these words out. It's not not business as usual, folks. Things have to change. The higher consciousness has to come in. We have to look at things differently now. It's time for that to happen. And
trying to clean up the mess.
Exactly. So that's what this show is dedicated to, is to help, kind of bring us from where we are to where we need to be. And so there. So get the show out there. So Donald and Melania and family, please listen to our show. So we can help.
You know what we're going to do?
What?
Is we're going to move into Donald Trump's chart now.
Ooh, okay.
I just want to remind everyone that we are looking at a reincarnation of Patton, General George Patton.
We're pretty sure of that.
And we are also looking into ISIS, the teeth of all kinds of lone wolf terrorism, and the teeth of just this violent nonsense that the fallen ones have been stirring up since the get-go. Yeah. We're looking into evil. And Trump's got a good Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, wasn't it? Yeah, let's get him. Well,
but let's bring the noise, Trump, and he's going to trump it right into...
Get your lightsabers out, folks. It's time to do
that. And he's going to win. Okay. He says, I love the way that they did that when he came out on the platform to introduce his wife.
Yeah.
He's like, we are the champions of the world.
Oh, I got to tell you. Yeah, I get it. But
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, Queen didn't.
It was powerful.
The band Queen didn't think too much of that, and they made it very clear that they were misusing their song, We Are the Champions. So they were whining about it.
You know what? Come on, give me a break. What is it with all this Virgo nitpick whiny? Oh, my God, you can't be uplifting if you don't... that's a bunch of hooey. You can tell Queen what I think of them. Another one bites the dust. We'll see you before the court of the sacred fire as well, because you've led a lot of people astray. So you should be grateful that your music was used to uplift a little bit and make a grand, beautiful.
I will tell you, without a doubt, had they used some kind of patriotic music, then they wouldn't have had the issues
Oh,
with
yeah.
Queen. So what I'm saying is,
Well, that goes without saying.
well, you
That
play
goes
in their
without saying.
ballpark, you're gonna, you have to deal with their stuff. So let's get out of that.
There's so much stuff.
I know.
On this planet.
Play the patriotic music, get everybody fired up. You can't complain about that.
That's
Seriously.
true. I think they've forgotten. Somehow the fallen ones working through rock music have literally infiltrated all those canals of where the patriotism was and filled it with distorted rhythms.
Well, I
and
will tell
sound
you,
to get people confused and chaotic.
That is right. And patriotism, by golly, is alive and well at the Trek Upward radio show. I guarantee that.
You know what?
We are here.
was-
We are patriots. We are Americans.
I walk up and down the
America.
5,600-foot hill that you have to come up to get to the
Yeah.
studio
Yes.
every day. And guess what I play when I'm
John Philip
doing
Sousa?
that walk?
Oh, you do John Philip
Yeah.
Sousa? Really?
Yeah.
That-
Every piece.
I love that piece of music. I love
Every
that
piece of marching music I can get my hands on that's well done.
Oh, yes.
The Marine song, the Army song, the Navy song,
Well, here,
who did I forget?
here's the deal. What you
Air Force.
Yeah, you hit on this, and we talked about it in our music show. Is that rock music is the syncopated beat, or march music is the non-syncopated beat. Same 4/4 time, but one is the emphasis on the beat is either on the first and the third, or the second and the fourth. And so
Right.
rock music, it's on the second and fourth. It's the syncopated 1/3.
Right.
Right. It's the non-syncopated beat. Seriously, that's the difference, and that's how they've been able to bring it down, because the syncopated beat goes contrary to the beat of the heart, and we've talked about that in our
Right.
music show. So listen to that.
Right.
It's in the archives. You can catch it on YouTube, catch it on our Trek Upward Radio Show website. So
Podcast,
Podcast,
iTunes, everywhere. We are everywhere.
Twitter, Facebook. We're even working on
everywhere.
Instagram. We're even working on Twitter, and we
If they're not going to syndicate us, we're going to syndicate ourselves.
By
So
golly, yeah, there. So with that said, that's it.
Well, we want to hear from you. So do give us your comments about the Trumps, about things that we talk about in all our different shows. We want to hear from you. And if you want to be a guest on our show, as Lama was, our beloved, what an amazing one.
Great
he
show.
was.
Yeah, it was great talking
My
to him.
gosh.
Yes.
It was an honor to have him on the show.
We
would love to hear what you have to say, so get a hold of us.
Yes, and we actually have some ideas for some guest speakers on our show, so stay tuned. We will bring them
But
in.
it's a secret.
All right, me and William are out of here. We're going to go down the Immigrant Mall again. So
All right.
we're going to shuffle on off, and it's
Give me
great
one
to
of
be
those,
back up here again. What?
Give me one of those veggie drinks.
Veggie drinks. Okay.
See ya.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Let Jean do an astrology consultation for you, your family, or your friends. Go to astrologyjeanhart.com or give her a call or text her at 1-406-599-3934. There are powerful spiritual tools available to help you deal with planetary and personal challenges, and these can be found at prophecyisgiven.com. And be sure to visit our website at thetrekupwardradioshow.com or stop by on Facebook at www.facebook.com/trekupward. And be sure to hit like on our page. Or visit YouTube and search for the Trek Upward Radio Show. Be sure to subscribe so you do not miss another episode of the Trek Upward Radio Show. The Trek Upward Radio Show is a studio at 5,600 feet production.